Hi everybody, I'm Maxime. I'm a senior developer advocate at MongoDB, and today I want to show you how you can connect to MongoDB through a SOCKS5 Proxy with Java. So I wrote a blog post about it. You can find it online in the MongoDB Developer Center. And first of all, what is a SOCKS5 Proxy? So it's actually a very simple proxy system, very standard protocol actually, and you can use it to change your virtual location, you can use it to hide your IP address, or you can also use it to add an authentication layer between your client and your MongoDB cluster. So let's jump right in the code and see how you can connect to this kind of proxy to MongoDB. So if you're using the standard Mongo driver sync dependency in Java, there are two ways you can connect to MongoDB through a proxy. So the first one here at the top would be to use this socket settings builder and create this block socket settings, right? So it's highlighted right here in the code. You will need 2 to 4 options. So you need, of course, the IP address of the proxy, the port, and optionally, if you use the authentication layer, the username and the password to be able to authenticate to the proxy. And then once you have this socket setting, you need to pass it to your Mongo client settings in the apply to socket settings. And that's it. You just build these client settings options, and you can just pass them as usual to your Mongo clients.create method to create your final Mongo client, right? So that's the first method you can use. The second method is here at the bottom. So instead of doing all this, you can just use actually the options directly in the parameters of the MongoDB URI. For example, MongoDB Atlas usual connection string, but at the end you can add the proxy host, proxy purport, the proxy username, and the proxy password. If you are using Spring Boot or Spring Data for that matter, you will have to do a little bit more configuration. So first of all, you will need to be in your usual class where you have your add configuration. You probably pass your connection string through a property file like this. And so if you use the last technique I show you, you just need to go to your application property and change the default connection string you are sharing in here, or update your environmental variable and pass the parameters we just saw in the previous section, right? Those 4 options. So that would be the first way to get connected, or you can do like the first technique. So use the block socket settings builder, and you will need to pass in the same way those options here and pass them just the same way in the apply to socket settings with socket settings. So that's it. The only difference you see here, I wanted to highlight that usually when you use Spring Boot or Spring Data, you will need to configure as well the Pojo codec repository registry and the codec registry, right? So of course you pass them as well in the codec registry option in the client settings when you try to build your final Mongo client bin Spring Boot, right? So that's about it for this video. It's short and sweet. There is nothing huge about the SOCKS5 connection and connectivity. It's pretty simple actually. So hopefully this little video helps you get connected to MongoDB through a SOCKS5 proxy. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.